Well, as the temperatures continue to drop, the threat level increases throughout Metro Detroit.
Yeah, close to 36 schools have canceled classes today, thanks in part to this latest cold snap that's so dangerous. 7 Action News reporter Matthew Smith is joining us live this morning with more on this bitter cold. And Matt, even a few minutes outside can be dangerous for people, right?
Yeah, and that's why I was taking a break inside the vehicle. You know, people always complain. They say, you tell us that you shouldn't be in the cold. Why are you in the cold? I'll be honest, we're not in the cold. We step out just for a matter of moments to bring you the stories, then we get back in to be more safe. This is the time where you have to be very careful. This is like a sprained ankle. It is nothing to play with. You got to be careful, especially make sure you layer up. Every single layer truly counts this time of year.
Ultimately, you can lose fingers, digits, or extremities.
It's not just cold, it's dangerously cold. And as Dr. Waters explains, that's when frostbite and frostnip, a warning sign of frostbite, become real concerns.
Oftentimes, the damage is more severe than it appears to be initially. So it's very important once you identify a possible frostbite victim to get those extremities warmed up.
But how do we avoid that? Well, first, stay out of this mess. But if you or your kids do go out, you'll need layers. 3 in this extreme cold are best. We're talking a base, a middle, and a shell.
One of the materials that I try to tell people to stay away from is cotton.
The experts say that's because cotton absorbs moisture and traps wetness, and that's a no-no in this cold weather. Think synthetics, polyester, nylon, merino wool, especially on that first layer against you and your kid's skin. While we may skip playing outside, any trip outdoors becomes dangerous, which is why we also need to think about warning signs and teach our kids to let us know if they're experiencing them. If you're dealing with red or maybe even tingly feeling skin, it's best to actually immerse it in warm, not hot water for an extended period of time. The idea here is that you don't want to damage the skin. If it actually is worse and you're talking about blistering or damaged tissue, that's when you need to seek immediate medical attention.
You actually get freezing of the water in the soft tissue, and it causes damage on a microscopic and macroscopic level.
All right, so you really need to bundle up. Let's talk about those layers. Me, myself, I work in this all the time. So I've got the waterproof boots, and inside of this, I got a layer of socks and the wool socks. I've actually got Under Armour pulled up over underneath of the socks that I got here. I actually wish I would have wore the ski pants, but I've got the wick away Under Armour type stuff for the shirt. I got a sweater, and then I got the outer layer on top of it. Guys, I'm still cold. The reality is, if you're sending kids off to the bus stop, make sure you're layering them up as good as you possibly can. And like you heard the experts say, don't let that bottom layer be cotton. That can be really dangerous because if they start sweating and they don't do the layer quick enough, that's when it starts getting real cold right up against the skin. That's when it's dangerous. Frostbite, you heard the doctors say, it is a reality in these types of conditions. We're live in Detroit this morning. Matthew Smith, 7 Action News.
Yeah, thanks.